Well, hello, football fans, and we hope that you are able to hear us okay and that you can sort of see what is going on. We are getting on the air a little bit late. We've been waiting till literally the last minute here for our football coverage to get underway because right now here at Aces Field there is no power. We are hoping that sometime within the next half hour it will be restored. And it's going to need to be because, again, it's already getting kind of dark here, and without lights, they're not going to be able to play for too much longer. But we are here at Aces Field. It is senior night, and we are ready for varsity volleyball action with the Edgerton Bulldogs here to take on the Aces. Edgerton will be kicking the ball off here shortly. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy. Brian Williams here with me operating the iPad Pro camera, and we're going to make do as best we can here for at least the first part of this game. And we'll sort of keep you up to date with the situation as it goes along. We're ready to get things started. Ball is kicked. Recovered by the Aces wearing their all-black uniforms tonight because of senior night. And I'm going to tell you right now that in this dim light without any lights on, it's almost impossible to see the numbers on the Aces players. So we will do the best that we can, and I apologize in advance if I call any numbers wrong, because you really cannot see them without the assistance of the field lights. Evidently a minor traffic accident disrupting power here, and crews are here working as we speak to get it rectified as soon as possible. And the last word we heard was that they were hoping to have power restored to the field by approximately 7:30 this evening. So the Aces with the ball. To start things off. Quick handoff. And a gain of about 2 or maybe 3 out to about the 42-yard line. And again, without the scoreboard, we're going to just do our best to try to keep you up to date with down and distance and the score and everything else. That's the first time in a long time we've had to sort of shoot from the hip here, but we'll make do as best we can with football action here tonight. If we get a little chance, a little later, we'll. That'll be a tackle for a loss to make it 3rd down and about 11, it looks like. I think that was Mr. Kohlmeyer coming up to let me know that if the power is restored, we'll make this. This is going to just be a crazy night tonight. That's all there is to it.
You said it's good.
Okay. All right. So the Aces will break huddle. And we'll get ready for this 3rd and 11 play. Again, we'll thank our underwriters coming up here shortly as best we can tonight. And again, we thank everybody for their patience this evening. Whistle's blown. And a quick timeout called by the Aces. Like I said, this has got to be challenging circumstances for the coaches on both sides of the field. And you do not have any electricity here. So they have their headsets and everything on. If they've got the battery backups, they'll be functioning. And like I said, and we are right now going to be limited to whatever battery power that we have. So hopefully, like I said, we're hoping that we can get through the next half hour here or so and have those lights flip back on so we can see what's going on. And because again, it is cloudy, it is overcast. We've had some light rain showers. It's still spitting a little rain out there right now, so it is kind of a less than ideal night for football weather-wise. But at this rate, in a half hour or so, it's going to probably be almost too dark to be able to play without the lights. So again, we'll just sort of wait and see how things go here. And we're glad to have you with us. 2 split backs behind Turnbull. I believe that's Turnbull that's quarterbacking. Turnbull dropping back, and he's going to roll out. Looking downfield, ball's in the air. Got a man open, and I think he lost it in the lack of lights. Ball falls to the turf. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down, and the Aces punting unit will come out onto the field. Senior night for the Aces. They did have a kind of a senior recognition as they brought all the seniors and their moms and dads out onto the field before the game. But I recorded it and we'll try to edit that in. But as Brian will attest, it only lasted for maybe a minute or two. So it was not the usual senior night recognition. A high blue pump, that's going to be blocked. Bulldogs pick it up at the 30-yard line. They get inside the 30. Edgerton sets themselves up nicely with a blocked punt, and they advance it a few yards, almost to the 25-yard line. They're going to put it down, I think, at about the 28. Edgerton, of course, took a loss last weekend at the hands of the winless Fairview Apaches. So that means that the Aces and Fairview are the only 2 teams. They're the 1-win teams in the GMC. And that means that, number one, the Aces should have a legitimate chance of being able to pull out a victory against the Bulldogs. And number two, the Bulldogs are probably not happy about losing to Fairview. They're never happy about losing to a winless team. Just ask the Washington Commanders. And that's going to get piled up right at about the line of scrimmage. So the Bulldogs are going to be in here tonight with a chip on their shoulders. They're going to want to take home a victory in the worst way. And, of course, the Aces want to pick up their second win tonight for their seniors. Teams will break huddle. This is weird. This is like football after dark, Brian. I mean, rolling out, their quarterback is number 2. That's Maddox Baker. Baker is only a sophomore. He fumbles the ball out of bounds. And a flag on the play. I think that's a yellow. Yeah, it is a yellow flag. They also have the neon orange ones they use for change of possession and so forth. It's going to be a hold against the Bulldogs. That'll back them up 10. Want to thank Brian for coming out here tonight, too. Again, Chris Warner suffering a loss in his family. His grandfather passed away earlier in the week and not able to be with us here tonight. So we wish the best for Chris and his family. And a big thank you to Brian for coming out here this evening in the cold, wet, rainy weather. Man in motion. Quick handoff up the middle. Down to about the 29 or the 34-yard line. That'll get back about half of the yardage they lost on the holding call. Brings up third and looks like about 15. Bulldogs set once again. Again, Baker rolling out. Baker being chased. He's back in midfield. Baker manages to escape that one and then finally throws the ball away. It's going to be incomplete and probably lucky that it is. If he had caught it, it would have been at about the line of scrimmage anyway. So either way, it's going to bring up fourth and about 15 for the Bulldogs. As, again, Maddox Baker scrambling. He was lucky. Looked like they were going to get him way back at about the 50-yard line. But he managed to elude a couple of tackles and throw the ball away. And we'll see what the Bulldogs are going to do for the first time tonight on fourth down. And it looks like they're going for it on this deep in Aces territory. The ball at the Hicksville 34-yard line. So I guess why not? Baker dropping back. Baker unloads the ball and it's picked off. Interception. And I honestly cannot see his number. I think it might be 3. If it is 3, that would be Braden Dix. So we'll say Braden Dix makes the interception and put an asterisk by that. And if we're wrong, no, then you can beat up Brian in the parking lot afterwards. He's bigger than me. So after the INT, first turnover of the night. So Aces back on offense. Man in motion. Quick handoff. Tries to turn the corner. Sort of does. He might have got a yard. I'm getting some texts from people and enjoying the football after dark. Yes. And again, hopefully we're within a half hour of getting some lights on here at the Hicksville Stadium. And that's, oh my goodness, that went off Turnbull's hands and I think right into George Green's mitts. And Green, I think he still might lose some yardage, but it's better than a turnover because that could have been a disaster for the Aces. So whether that was Zedike or Green back there behind Turnbull, that was a night. I mean, it was almost like a scripted thing. It went right off of the quarterback's hands and into the waiting arms of the running back who tried to turn it into something. And still it's going to be about a 3-yard loss, but that's way better than having it half the distance of the goal or whatever it might have been if it had gotten loose past Turnbull. Hard count. Nobody bites. Snap. Dropping back. Ball in the air. Caught. It's so dark I can't see the ball when it's flying in the air. But it looks like it was caught at about the original line of scrimmage, maybe a couple yards past. That's going to bring up fourth and about 7 or 8 for the Aces. Deep in their end of the field, likely a punting situation. Deep man back for the Bulldogs, standing at about the Aces' 47, 48-yard line. And that's a bad, bad punt. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 30-yard line. The Aces shanked it off the side of his foot. And really, that's about the last thing the Aces needed at this point. So again, Edgerton is going to get the football back, and they're going to be in prime position at the 30-yard line. They're going to actually put the ball at about the 29. First and 10 for the Bulldogs. Again, their quarterback, just a sophomore, number 2, Maddox Baker. Baker hands it off to big number 25. That's Owen Roth. Roth still on his feet. Roth into the end zone. And initially, it's a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Waiting to see, because again, in the low right, want to make sure there's no yellow flags on the field anywhere. Doesn't seem to be. So that'll make it 6-0 Edgerton. Their kicker looks to be number 3, Scottis Krantz. Krantz puts it up, and it's good. So they'll complete the conversion attempt, and that'll make it a 7-0 game. Edgerton, sometime in the first quarter. We have no clue what the time on the clock is. We'll have a little break here as they get ready for the kickoff and change of possession, which will allow me to say a big thank you to our diamond level underwriters that are making our coverage possible here tonight. They include the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Also, APT Manufacturing Solutions of Hicksville, Ohio, located in Hicksville's Industrial Park and online at aptmfg.com/careers. Thanks to the Hicksville Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, located in the heart of downtown Hicksville, Ohio. And also, ARC Solutions Incorporated, a world-class facility located in Hicksville's Industrial Park and online at aptmfg. No, I take that back. I said the wrong thing. It's arcsolinc.com. So dark I can't even read my own notes. So the Bulldogs are going to get ready to kick it off to the Aces here. Tee it up on the 40-yard line. Ball picked off at about the 30 by the Aces. Still working forward across the 40 out to about the 42-yard line, it looks like. And that's where Hicksville will set up shop, 1st and 10. We'll have to find out maybe if the iPad Pro have like that heat vision setting, like, you know, Predator or something. It can, you could see the body heat, the infrared. Aces 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Quick handoff. And maybe back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark it. Going to say that he might have actually made a half a yard on that carry. Bring up 2nd and 9 for the Aces. So Hicksville with a 2nd and 9. Quick hitter, that's caught. Nice forward progress. That should be a 1st down for the Aces. Out across midfield and onto the Edgerton side of the gridiron. Looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 Aces from the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. So with a fresh set of downs to work with, here come the Aces. Quick handoff from Turnbull. Going around the corner. Good strong carry. Knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. They're going to put the ball at the 33-yard line. Another first down for the Aces. Looking to even this game up here. Turnbull gets the snap. Garrett puts the ball in the air. Caught. Inside the 30. They're going to give him forward progress to maybe about the 29. Pickup of about 5. Bring up second down for the Aces. Again, no scoreboard, so I have no idea. We're still in the first quarter, but how much time we have remaining, I have no clue. Turnbull. Handoff, and the running back ran into the quarterback and will get dropped for a loss back at about the 32-yard line. And we have the low light function on, so it looks really it looks better on the screen than it does in real life. It's brighter, so you who are watching on the HIX-TV YouTube channel are seeing better than we are able to. The camera does better than the human eye under these circumstances. Ball in the air, caught. And again, back down to about the 28, 29-yard line. That'll regain the lost yardage and bring up fourth down and about 5 for the Aces. The ball on the 29-yard line. They have to get to about the 24-yard line to move the chains. So 4th and 5 for the Aces. Down 7-0 here in the first quarter. Dropping back. Turnbull puts the ball into the air, and again, incomplete. They'll turn it over on downs. You can't really hold that against any of the receivers because, again, it is really hard to see the football in these low light conditions. See a lot of flashlights popping up in the stands on both sides of the field. So turnover on downs for the Aces. The Bulldogs will get it back on their own 29-yard line. 1st and 10. And now we've got a timeout. The officials talking with the coach of the Bulldogs over on the other side of the field, it looks like. Aces are huddling up. I'm not sure if this is the end of the quarter. If it is, we'll know because they'll switch ends of the field. Or if it is just a timeout or an official timeout. You can see the lights waving over on the Edgerton side and the visitors' stands. Well, we'll take the time here in case it is the end of the quarter. And say a big thank you to one of our Diamond Level Underwriting supporters making our coverage possible from Aces Field here tonight. That's the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Remember, if you're in the market for a vehicle, whether it's brand new or pre-owned, a car, truck, van, or SUV, check out the selection they have on the lots, or you can check out the entire dealer inventory online anytime at jimschmidtauto.com. Remember, it's always about service before, during, and after the sale at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. We want to thank them so much for their Diamond Level Underwriting support. They underwrite all of our Aces sports broadcasts on all of our platforms at every level through all of 2023. We want to thank them so very much. They've been doing it now for 15 years or more. And hopefully you will thank them as well, because remember, anytime you see Aces sports action, on Hicksville Community Television. They're the ones to make it possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. And it looks like they're heading into the locker rooms, and we're going to be suspending our live stream coverage until such time as power has been restored here at Aces Field. So, with a temporary suspension in play, the Edgerton Bulldogs lead the Aces 7-0. We're going to step aside and end our live stream, and hopefully we'll be back. Check out the Hicksville Community Television Facebook page. I'll post any updates we get on there to keep you apprised of the situation. And until we're ready to come back and resume play, for Brian Williams running the camera, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you a good night and good sport. We welcome you back to Aces Field after about a, half hour or so pause in the action. Power has been restored. We're ready to get underway. And we're going to have a quick flag thrown. Both teams came out. They went into the locker rooms, came out. They put about 5 minutes on the clock for them to do a little bit of warming up. And the flag will now put the ball at the 34-yard line for the Bulldogs. Quick handoff. Number 25 turns the corner. First down yardage and more. He's off to the races. He's already had one touchdown tonight. Gets out to the 40-yard line. That's Owen Roth, the 6'1 senior, 205 pounds of muscle, heading up the gridiron, and they'll bring him down at about the, looks like, well, they're going to march that back with a flag on the play. So that's going to be holding against the Bulldogs. They're saying the foul occurred at the 44-yard line, so that'll march it back to the 34. So that will negate that first down run. And we'll bring up second down, I believe, or will it still be first down? So they're going to say it's a 1st and 5 now from the 34-yard line. Handoff again. Roth around the corner. Roth up the sideline. Roth stepping out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. That will move the chains. That will be a first down for the Bulldogs. Well, 1:09 to go, and I think that's in the first quarter still. With the Dogs up 7-0 over the Aces here. What's been a wild night of football, playing most of that first quarter without electricity. Dropping back, rolling out, and he's going to hang on to it himself, running for his life now. He evades one tackle. He's still on his feet, worms his way all the way down. He winds his way down inside the 10-yard line. Maddox Baker should bring a 1st and goal up for the Bulldogs with a nice run. 57 seconds left to go. First and goal from the 7, and that'll be a false start. That'll back him up. It'll be 1st and goal now from the 12. Is it just me, Brian, or is it kind of weird with the field being all lit up? You never appreciate what you have until you don't have it for a while. My goodness. All right, here we go. 1st and goal from the 12. Maddox Baker puts a man in motion. Baker takes a snap. Hands off, number 12 with the carry. Works his way through. Heading towards the end zone, that's Joel Walkup. And he's going to be stopped just shy of the end zone. That'll bring up 2nd and goal. And that'll be at the 2-yard line. As the Bulldogs look to go up here by 2 touchdowns. Hand up, power run right up the middle. Still churning his feet. Ball looks like it might have popped out. So there was a fumble as he was trying to power his way into the end zone. And that'll be the end of the quarter. So when we resume, it will be 3rd and goal for Edgerton. Just get ready to switch ends of the field. So we already said a thank you towards the end of our first live stream here tonight to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. So we'll take some time now and we'll say a big thank you to our friends at APT Manufacturing Solutions of Hicksville, Ohio. World-class facility offering solutions to business industry like welding, powder coating, safety equipment, and so much more. And they're looking to add to their workforce. If you'd like to maybe go to work with APT, a great place to start a first career, second career, hone the skills you already have, go to aptmfg.com/careers. Log on there and you'll be able to see a complete listing of all of the opportunities they have available, many with specialized training, certification opportunities. You can fill out an application, upload your resume. They'd love to hear from you, and who knows, maybe you can become a part of the APT manufacturing family. We want to thank them so much for their continued diamond level support of our Aces Sports broadcast here on Hicksville Community Television. Our good friends, APT Manufacturing Solutions of Hicksville, Ohio, and online at aptmfg.com/careers. Quick little toss right over the middle. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown for the Bulldogs, caught by Noah Weaver. Weaver puts him up 13-0 with 11:56 to go here in the second quarter. They're going to attempt the kick now. They made the extra point attempt in the first quarter, and that one also looks pretty good. And it is. This time we can actually see the flight of the football. When they kicked it before the suspension due to darkness and no electricity, we couldn't tell whether the ball made it through or not. We were having a hard time seeing the ball being thrown for passes and everything else. So if it was tough for us, I can only imagine what it was like for the players down on the field. But kudos to them for hanging in there. So we'll get ready for a kickoff, and the Aces will get the football back, trailing 14-0, with, again, 11:56 to go here in quarter number 2. Senior night here at Aces Field, a very abbreviated senior ceremony before the game. Best they could do with absolutely no power. Evidently a traffic accident interrupting power to the stadium area. I think it affected a few businesses nearby as well. But it looks like, at least here at the stadium, things are under control. So we're enjoying electric light. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah. Don't appreciate it until you don't have it for a while. Langham Dix back deep for the Aces. Parker Eldon, the kicker for Edgerton, rolls it along there, and it's a loose ball, and all they can do is fall on it. That was Camden Walter, who had the football bounce off of him and then ran for all he was worth to be able to smother that ball and retain possession. And that'll give the Aces some fairly decent field position at their own 36-yard line to start this drive, their first offensive series of quarter number 2. Brant. Nope, I take it back. It's a quarterback keeper and a good one. A nice hole, but the ball pops out at the end, and the Bulldogs say they've got it. A quarterback keeper. And they're going to say that the Aces retain possession. I think that was number 18, Owen Stuckey, that carried the ball out to the 45-yard line of the Edgerton Bulldogs. 1st and 10 for the Aces. Turnbull out there right now as quarterback. Ball in the air and over everybody's head, and a flag thrown. Looks like we might see some defensive pass interference. And that will indeed be the call. So the Aces will benefit from another penalty here. As that will move the chains for them and put the ball down at the 30-yard line. So the Aces looking to draw a little closer on the scoreboard, have been the beneficiary of a defensive pass interference call. And see what Mr. Turnbull and company can do now. See if they can make it burn a little bit. And everybody goes jumping. And that'll be a false start on the Aces, so back it up 5. 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 at the 35-yard line. Turnbull, couple hard counts, nobody bites. Quick handoff. Langham will get across the 35 down to about the 33. Get back some of that lost yardage and bring up 2nd and about 13. Aces setting up again. Turnbull, low snap, handles it, rolling out. Turnbull looking down the field. He's in trouble. Gets the ball away. Looks like it was caught. It'll be short of 1st down yardage by a bunch, but at least forward progress. That'll bring up 3rd down, and it looks like about 8. So Langham makes the grab and advances the ball a little bit more. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Aces. They'll break huddle. 9.5 to go. Clock rolling here in the 2nd quarter. We're going to be behind, I think, every other game in Northwest Ohio here tonight. Another handoff. Tucking it under, down to about the 25-yard line. That'll bring up 4th and about 5, maybe 4. Fourth and 5 for the Aces at the Edgerton 25-yard line, and looks like they're going to go for it. Might as well. They're down 14. 2 out wide, make that 3 out wide on the far side. 1 on the near side towards us. Turnbull with the snap. Turnbull, quick throw, caught. That should be enough to move the chains. All the Aces were really looking for was to be able to get 5.5 yards. And it looks like they did get a little bit more than that. Down to the 19-yard line. First down for the Aces. 8:25 to go before halftime. Looks like the Edgerton Bulldogs band is here tonight, as well as the Aces Pride, so have some halftime entertainment for you. Turnbull drops the ball and just has to fall on it. Back at the 25-yard line, it'll be a loss of 6. We've had, again, we've had some light rain and some misty, so that ball might be a little bit slick out there tonight. We haven't been down on the field, so I can't really tell you what the field conditions are, but definitely a hint of fall in the air tonight. 2nd and 16 now for the Aces. Turnbull launches it over the middle, caught. Stuckey was the man that made the grab. Get down to the 12-yard line, and Aces will be looking at a 3rd and short. Turnbull. High snap, quick handoff, and dropped in the backfield. Langham got the ball, but they tripped him up, and it's going to bring up 4th and looks like a loss of about a yard, 4th and 4 maybe. Well, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, so 4th and 3 officially. Clock rolling. The Aces have been keeping it, for the most part, on the ground, and every pass they've thrown has been completed. So just about to the halfway point of the second quarter here. Here we go, 4th and 3 for the Aces. Handoff, powering straight ahead, first down yardage. They'll be stopped short of the goal line. But that'll be another first down for the Aces. It'll be 1st and goal for Hicksville. First and goal from the 1 for the Aces. And this time, Turnbull hangs on to it himself. He's in a world of hurt, and he gets it away, and it's caught. What a great throw. Great eyes by Garrett Turnbull. As they almost had him sacked, he got away. He was running for his life, saw an open man in the corner of the end zone, and looped the ball right to him. From our angle, I have no idea who had caught the ball. I couldn't see them. I could just see the top of their head and that they made the grab. That would be Langham, they're saying. Langham made the catch for the touchdown. Great job from Langham. Extra point conversion attempt is not going to be good. I don't know whether he just fluffed it or if somebody got their hand on it, but that falls short. So the score will remain 14-6. The Bulldogs with the 8-point lead here at Aces Field tonight, and Edgerton will get ready to get the football back on senior night 2023. Last home game of the regular season for the Aces here tonight. They finish up with a pair on the road next week We'll travel over to Sherwood, or Sherwood area, I should say. It's actually just a little north of Sherwood. Central Local Schools take on the Apaches, and they'll finish off at Tenora, hosted by the Rams. And we will let you, we got some stuff we want to talk about too about the coverage next week from Fairview. We'll talk about that if we got some time at halftime, so everybody is aware of just what all is going on. Stuckey tees it up for the Aces. Owen Roth and Dakota Burke, two seniors, are the deep men for the Bulldogs. Stuckey, a low liner, hit about the 35-yard line, and the Aces almost got it. But the Bulldogs fall on it at the 35. That was pretty close. But Edgerton will hang on to the football, and they'll set up shop on their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Here we go. Maddox Baker with the snap. Baker dropping back. Quick throw. Caught. A couple Bulldogs managed to wrestle him down near the 40-yard line. That was Joel Walkup, the junior, making the grab, and he'll get him about 5 yards on the carry. 2nd down for Edgerton. Keep that clock rolling. Man in motion. And he gets the handoff. That was Scotty Krantz, and Krantz back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. So that'll bring up 3rd and 5. Aces sprinting off the field. Quick handoff. They got him in the backfield, and they drop him for a 5-yard loss. Great play. They handed it off to Roth. That was Taylor that got him. Taylor dropped him, and that brings up 4th and 10. And the Bulldogs are going to need to punt it away from their half of the field. High snap, punts away. It's going to be a short one. It's going to angle towards the sideline, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 32, 33-yard line. Goes out of bounds before Dix could get to it. 3:31 to go before halftime. Aces get the ball back. They're down by 8, 14-6. Here at Aces Field on senior night. You're bringing the action live here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel. Glad to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. I know it's been a little abbreviated. We got started. We had to stop, called because of darkness. And then we're able to get resumed in the nick of time. They got the lights restored. And that'll be another loss on the play. Langham got the carry, and he's going to lose about a yard. So 2nd and 11 for the Aces as the clock rolls down towards 3 minutes to go before halftime. Ball's up, a wobbling arc, and it'll fall to the ground incomplete. Dix was the intended receiver, couldn't quite get to it, and even if he had, it probably would have been out of bounds. So Dix does not make the grab, and 2:44 to go. So 3rd and 11 now for the Aces. 2:44, the clock stops with the incomplete pass. Aces deep in their end of the field on the 32-yard line. Turnbull rolling out. Turnbull nailed from behind, a foul. A flag flies, the ball pops loose. The Bulldogs recover. We'll see what the flag is all about. As they just nailed Turnbull. So they're going to put the ball on the 20-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 Edgerton. I'm guessing they picked up the flag. I didn't see any indication or any march off. Or maybe he threw the orange, not the yellow. I'm not sure. Maddox in trouble. Maddox, that's going to be intentional grounding. Maddox just threw the ball wherever he could to avoid the tackle. He was going to get taken down at the 40-yard line, so it'll be intentional grounding. So they'll march off some yardage, a loss of down for the Bulldogs as well. So, yep. Intentional grounding with loss of down on the Bulldogs. So football will now be at the Aces 41-yard line. It'll be 2nd and a country mile. 2nd and 31. And they're going to send the house. Lateral it out. Nice hole opens up. And diving forward to about the 35-yard line is Scotty Krantz. Krantz will recover a little bit of that lost yardage. They still got a ways to go. They're going to have to go all the way down to near the 10-yard line to move the chains. And they're going to get ready to send the house again. And again, out to Krantz. This time Krantz going to throw it. Flag is thrown. Ball is caught and brought down right at the 10-yard line, which would be close to 1st down yardage if it stands. But it's going to be against the Bulldogs. And we'll see, it might not have been a lateral. It might have been a forward pass and then a second forward pass. Either way, the ball gets moved all the way back to the 41-yard line, where it is now 3rd and 31 with 1:55 to go in the half. Quick handoff, and nothing doing for Walkup, or excuse me, that was Roth, rather. Owen Roth might have made it back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. Clock will roll. No, it won't. It'll get stopped by the Aces. Hicksville calls their first timeout of the first half. They want to maybe preserve enough time. It's going to be 4th and 31. So odds are, well, either the Bulldogs are going to punt it or they're going to go for it. And at this point, you might as well go for it. So they're going to launch it downfield, most likely, or they might try to fool the Aces and do some kind of a quick run handoff and see if they can find a seam. Either way, though, the Aces are going to anticipate getting the ball back at the end of this play, and they want to preserve as much time as they can to work with before the half ends. So the Aces initially are going to drop back like they're going to punt, or they're going to drop back for like deep coverage to prevent the long ball. So we'll see. The Bulldogs come out and initially show punt. So we'll see whether they follow through with it or not. Long count. There's the snap. Ball's up. It's a good punt. Caught back at about the 4-yard line. Powering forward, diving ahead near the 20. Brant Langham brings the ball back out near the 20-yard line, and that's where the Aces will set up shop. 1st and 10. They'll have about 90 seconds to work with, and they've got one timeout remaining as well. Yeah, they're right. The Edgerton only has 10 guys on the field. Here comes number 11. All right, Aces 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 1:32 to go. Man in motion. Quick snap. Turnbull over the middle. It's picked off. This could be trouble. Pick 6 for the Bulldogs. Right into the hands of Corey Herman for the Bulldogs, and he goes 20 yards into the end zone, which is about the last thing the Aces want to have happen. That'll make it 20-6. The 1:22 as the Bulldogs pick it off and make it burn. Pick 6 again. Corey Herman, junior. Defensive back into the end zone. And we'll wait now for the conversion attempt. Herman's the holder for the kick, as a matter of fact. Kick is up, and that one's good too. He's 3 for 3 tonight. 21-6 the score. 1:22 to go before halftime, and Aces will try to regroup and get ready to get the football back. They still have one timeout in their back pocket they can use if they need to. But they're really going to have to get something going here. They're going to need a good run back, and we'll see what the Bulldogs have up their sleeves. The Bulldogs might decide it might be easier just to kind of squib kick it. Who knows? You might get lucky and be able to recover it, and if not, you might give the Aces good field position, but then you can rely on your defense. We'll see what they decide to do. That's the reason why I'm up here with a microphone in front of my face instead of down there on the sidelines with a clipboard. I don't know nothing. I just talk good. My old grammar teacher rolling, oh my gosh. So, they're going to tee it up at the 40-yard line. The Bulldogs will. Their kicker, number 9, Parker Eldon. Aces are set. Here we go. Eldon, and it falls off the tee. So they're going to tee it back up, and he'll try again. It doesn't seem that breezy up here in the press box, but maybe it is a little windier down on the field. They're going to have a man hold it for Eldon. And Eldon will get his foot into it. It'll be a short kick caught at the 35-yard line. And Taken out of bounds at about the 42. That was number 26 with the return, Colin Level. Haven't called his name very many times. I needed to double check to make sure I got the right guy there. Level brings the ball out to, again, the 42-yard line. Minute 19 to work with. So the Aces will get to show off their 2-minute drill here and see if they can march it down the field there. 58 yards away from pay dirt. Here we go. Turnbull dropping back. Turnbull in trouble. Turnbull, he's in a world of hurt. He's going to be dropped at about the 35-yard line. Well, that was Langham with the cat. Langham took the snap. Again, with the red outlines on the black jersey, it's kind of hard to tell. 2 and an 8 look very similar. And that's a catch. And that was Sanders making the grab. That'll keep the clock rolling, half a minute to go. And another catch at about the 45-yard line. And timeout called by the Aces. So 17 seconds. The Aces with a 4th down and 7 at their own 45-yard line on a huddle up and figure out what they want to do here. If they punt it, then they're probably going to give the Bulldogs at least one chance, maybe a couple if they're fast. If they try to pass it, the last thing they want is to either get another interception. If they pass it and it's incomplete, that'll stop the clock and they'll turn it over on downs, and the Bulldogs will have pretty decent field position with about a quarter of a minute to work with. And of course, you don't want to. Well, if you had to take a sack, I guess that might be the least bad thing, because that would at least get time to expire unless they called a quick timeout. And the Bulldogs do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Ball snap. Long pass and incomplete. And an injury on the play. That was quite a hit on the far sideline. The ball popped loose. I don't know if he made the catch and then got hit and the ball got knocked loose. Looks like it is going to be an incomplete pass. They're bringing the ball back, and it would be a turnover on downs to the Bulldogs. 9 seconds left in the half. And we'll wait and see as they, again, are huddled up over on the far sideline. We're not sure who the injured player is. So both teams taking a knee and thinking good thoughts. 21-6. The Bulldogs leading the Aces here on senior night. And that looks like it was Turnbull, number 2. Got his bell rung a little bit, but he's walking off under his own power and seems to be pretty steady on his legs. Doc Haggerty look him over real quick and make sure everything is working okay. And after the turnover on downs, it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the Aces 45-yard lines. 9 seconds to go before halftime. Maddox Baker. Baker. Ball's caught. And they'll move it down the sideline. Stays in bounds. He'll step out of bounds at about the 32, 33-yard line with 2 seconds to go. So the Bulldogs will get one more crack at it here. That'll move the chains. It'll be another first down for the Bulldogs. They advance the ball to the Aces' 33-yard line. 2 seconds to go before the half. Maddox, and they'll take a timeout. Maddox was trying to see if he could get somebody to jump and maybe get him an easy 5 extra yards. Nobody did. So timeout on the field from the Bulldogs. We get to halftime. Again, we'll disengage our headset microphones and go to the field mics and bring you the performances of the Bulldogs and the Aces Pride marching bands. And then we'll go into the second half. And because of all the extended time we've been here, whatever, we're going to have to keep an eye on our battery usage. We may have to do the field mics for a while and reconnect the power supply. So we'll see how that goes. We'll worry about that in the second half. All right, here come the Bulldogs. 2 seconds to go. They're leading 21-6. Quarterback Maddox Baker running for his life, and he'll just hit the turf. He's down. And that's the end of the first half. We've played the first 24 minutes tonight here at Aces Field. And at halftime on senior night, it's the visiting Edgerton Bulldogs leading the Aces 21-6, the halftime score. We're going to take a break. Again, we'll keep the live stream going. We'll turn off the headset microphones, give you the field mics. And they only got 10 minutes on for halftime, so we may just have one marching band performance. We'll see. So I'm going to head on out, and we will be back with all the second half play-by-play coming up right here on HIX-TV.